going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts Sports Zone Bowie TV coming to you live. Listen, it's going down all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat. Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still. And we're going to be here all day. All day. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Y'all already know what it is. I'm your host, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV. Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio coming to you live. Listen, today's a fun one. I actually get the pleasure of having my girl, my sister, President of Bowie TV, founder, owner, CWall Sports and Entertainment, Candi Waller. What's going on?
Have you ever done your show?
Nah, this is the first time.
It's insane. That's crazy.
When I was prepping, I was like, this was the first time that I've actually had her on the show. Like, we've done the talk, right?
Yeah,
something that we created, but never with you being on the show. So listen, I get to break you off like you a newbie. Welcome into my world. Welcome to the Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV coming to you live. You already know what it is, man. I'm giving you all HBCUs. And as you know, I started my HBCU Women in Sports, and we're going to continue it. And who else better to do it so with my sister, Candi Waller. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. So listen, I'm gonna do you like everybody else. I'm gonna give you my icebreaker, even though I know the answers, they don't. So it's new to those, old for me. But we're gonna let them get acquainted with who Candi Waller is.
Okay, cool.
So first and foremost, what is your favorite food?
I don't even know what my favorite food sometimes.
Look, I know what your favorite team is. Let me rephrase it. I know your favorite team.
I don't even have a favorite team. Bowie TV is my favorite team, okay?
See, I like that answer. She gave a good answer. I like her answer. That was a polished journalist answer right there. Where's your favorite food?
Okay, favorite food. It might be French fries.
Potatoes, it gets you every
potatoes,
time.
Right. Whatever. Carbs, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite dream destination or a favorite vacation place?
Favorite dream destination, I guess Turks and Caicos. That's the first thing that came up to my mind. I was gonna try to change it up, but yeah, Turks and Caicos.
You've been there, or that's the place you would
I actually have not been there. That's a place I want to go. Every time I've playing something there, something happens.
Okay. So I won't ask you what your favorite team is now, but in your heart of hearts, when you were cheering and you were rooting and you was coaching from the couch, what team? Right in the back. What was the team that you liked to watch and that you often rooted for?
Oh, a team that I liked to watch. See, that's the thing. You really need to change. So, a team that I liked watching, and you probably are not gonna like this answer, and you might be surprised too. Seriously, I liked watching the New England Patriots. And you said liked watching.
Well, we thank you guys very much for tuning into this show.
And cut. Insane.
And action. And that was great. Yeah, I appreciate all 5 minutes. Okay. I definitely didn't see that coming. But okay, yeah, them people down there in Boston. It's okay, but that's definitely looking for and maybe maybe we'll touch up on the NFC and AFC games towards the end of everything. But more importantly, this show is I want to highlight you and your accomplishments and the things that you've done in journalism and sports, but more importantly, a women in sports. I want to highlight, just want you to share for women who are like you, to look like you, that are trying to, follow in the same path and footsteps. So further ado, before we get started, let's just go ahead and jump right into the journey into sports. Can you share what inspired you to start CWall Sports and Entertainment and how your journey in sports journalism began?
Absolutely. So what inspired me, we would see, black women in sports, but and women overall, it always seemed like it was more of the facilitator or moderator of the men talking.
Yeah.
Right. At that point in time, anyway. We would definitely see sideline reporting, but what I didn't feel like I saw a lot of were women, and of course black women, that could talk about the game and analyze it in a way where you can have the conversation with men on TV.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in being the facilitator of the conversation, the moderator of the conversation. I had thoughts, I had opinions, I had knowledge,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be a part of that. And I felt like I just didn't see myself in that, right? I definitely saw sideline reporting, saw, in studio, but again, some of the sideline reporting, be a snippet here, there. And then
Mm-hmm.
in the studio would be more of a facilitator, not necessarily an active contributor at that time.
Yeah.
And so I said, are there any black women that have their own sports show that can talk about the game and talk about upcoming events, what's going on, players, really dive into individual players, coaches, all of that. And for me at that time, it just wasn't. It wasn't anybody. So I, in the words of President Barack Obama, you got to be the change you wanted to see.
Yeah.
And so I didn't start out this way, right? So that is something that, I did not start in this, and I think that's important to say.
Yeah.
I transitioned into the sports industry. I'm a tried and true, organizational change management, strategic communications consultant, having worked with, IBM, Deloitte, the MITRE Corporation, and my HBCU was Hampton University.
And in my mind, I was like, dang, I didn't even shout out to HBCU. I know I've been up Howard a lot. I know I've been up Howard a lot. I don't want y'all to feel like I wasn't trying to show the love to the HU.
Oh, that's so funny. But yes, I'm a Hamptonian, tried and true Hampton University graduate. And so I was actually a psychology major at Hampton. I did not go to school for sports journalism. So I took a very non-traditional path into sports journalism. Even when I went to get my master's, I got it from GW in human resource development. That more so aligned with my background in consulting with the Big Four and all of that. Yes. But the sports journalism piece is definitely rooted in purpose and passion. So it was just like letting your childhood dream kind of come true, if you will.
And one of the things that I want to move to when we talk about your journey and not seeing enough women that look like you and that can talk like you and delve into the details of a game that a lot of people, men included, some fans just see X's and O's. They can't delve into the cover two and knowing the difference between a one high safety or a 12 personnel, 11 personnel deep offense like you can. And talking about that is just overcoming some challenges, because I'm sure there were a lot of challenges, and especially going back to Barack Obama, being a change that you want to see. What were some of your biggest obstacles that you faced as a woman in sports in the sports industry, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it being a woman and being black, and I can't do nothing about that, right? Yeah. Like that's just it is what it is. And so that has been a challenge all the time, right? Because it's, well, you didn't play, or how would you know? It's just all the negativity of without even listening to me, let me discount you because you are a woman and you're a black woman. And how would you know, right? Yeah. So that's just like counting you out from the beginning. And then to your point of CWall Sports and Entertainment, again, as you know, I came in the door with an independent outlet. I did not, again, non-traditional ranks. So I didn't work at all the national media, and I still don't, because I'm at Bowie TV. I just always...
Correction. We may not be national.
We may not be national. You're right.
But we're global.
We are global.
Keep going. Global.
No, I appreciate you saying that and correcting me. That's a good job. Thank you for that. So yes, it becomes the non-traditional route. So it's like the whole way it's not looked familiar
Yeah,
to
yeah.
others in the industry. So I didn't go to journalism school. I haven't worked at ESPN, Yahoo Sports, CBS, Bleacher Report. I mean, I have been with Sports Illustrated Fan Nation, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
it wasn't the traditional route. So it becomes you're automatically counted out then without people even looking at your resume or due diligence, because they're going to see CWall Sports and Entertainment. Oh, Bowie TV, where is that? And what is that? You know, you're automatically discounted from your knowledge just
Yeah,
because of who you work for, which is totally unfair.
yeah,
And it's just consistently having to fight those boundaries, even when you're showing up every day, even more so than others that are
yeah.
from those larger outlets.
And I definitely can attest to just coming up and, like you said, not having that journalism background, not working for ESPN or Fox Sports, and starting Pits and Push Sports Talk Radio or Pit Sports Zone is one of those where it's like it's a frowned upon because you're not on the ESPNs, or you're not on the NFL networks, or you're not a Pat McAfee. And I think for me it's kind of mind boggling at times when I see, and I get it, name recognition, right? But I think that, and I don't think, I believe that the content that we provide at Bowie TV far exceeds a lot of the context that you do get from a lot of these sports entertainment companies, because we're not only just covering it from a click or a high topic state, we're there daily, weekly, practices, games. So we're intrigued and we're like hands on. And the good thing about it is, we're so spread out that we bring a plethora of different backgrounds and diversities in which we cumulate the Bowie TV brand in itself. When we talk about you balancing roles, right? As the owner of CWall Sports, CWall Sports and Entertainment, and the president of Bowie TV, and as a journalist, right? And as the business side, just talk about how do you balance those different roles and responsibilities.
I mean, it's hard. I don't have to tell you, it's very, very difficult. But time management is key. I mean, of course, in everything you have to pray and ensure you're aligned. Or I just try my best to ensure I'm aligned with the will that God has for my life. Just
Yeah,
period. Because I found myself saying yes to everything, feeling like I can do everything, be everywhere, and you can get sick like that. You can be having all sorts of issues, not getting enough rest
yeah,
constantly. You don't realize that it all kind of spikes your anxiety, even if it's a positive, like it's excitement. It's a lot on your body.
yeah,
So I've definitely had to prioritize and what can I reasonably handle with still trying to get my rest. And
right.
so that's a struggle, especially during the football season. It is hard to do that, but I try to go to bed at night. But I've had to learn that over time. Let me be clear. That's like something new. Like I would be one
Yeah,
that up 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and right back up at 6 and 7, 3 and 4 hours of sleep, which isn't
hmm,
what I recommend at all. So it really is prayer, prioritizing, and getting with the right circle of people that can keep you encouraged but also grounded.
yeah,
Right? Like you just can't do all the things that you used to do.
yeah,
And you just can't, because you either
yeah,
have to go to work or you need to get your rest or you need to be on point. It's like, you can't just wing it
yeah.
anymore. And so I would say those things, first and foremost, having to really even change the people, places, and things that you frequent. Um, all that stuff changes. Once you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, especially when you talk about about the people, what how do they fit into the path forward in sports journalism? What is their contribution to that? Is it research? Is it helping me stay up on the hot topics and reporting it? Or the places, sports environments. Every people don't know, but when you're a journalist in sports, that's not a pick up and drop off type of that's an ever changing, ever popping up topics here, situation there, coach here, player here. That is just something that is happening every day. So you're always working, even when you're not on camera, such as we are now.
Yep, exactly. And then even when we're on camera, right, we always run the risk of something breaking news happen. And it's like, oh, if it happened and we were doing this, then okay, we missed it. And that's got to be okay. Before I used to be really spun up if I missed something in the moment or missed a text or missed whatever. And now I'm just like, hey, if I wasn't, whatever, I get to it when I get to it.
Absolutely. And moving to, just your advice for young women. Shout out to Janelle. Janelle was the guest on last week, on Saturday, to be exact. She is the graduate of Morgan State University. She was the assistant offensive coordinator there. And, shout out to her. She just posted a comment on Instagram saying, shout out to Black women in sports. And shout out to you for all that you've done and that you're going to continue to do, Janelle. But for individuals like Janelle, what advice would you give them who are aspiring to enter the sports industry?
First and foremost, like I always say, keep God first, but be true to yourself. Be authentic. I spent a lot of time. I'm not saying that time was wasted because I've learned so many skills, and I still broaden my network and my resources, right? Because now that I'm full-fledged in the sports industry, a lot of people that watch the content, a lot of people that's supporting the content, that's watching the journey, they're my colleagues. From consulting. So it's not like it wasn't wasted at all. Like, you have to learn those skills and hone those skills, but be true to yourself. I sometimes wish, and I've kind of gotten past this point where it was like, I wish I would have been honest with myself sooner. When I first started CWall Sports and Entertainment in 2017, I remember telling my dad that I was going to start it. And he was like, well, it's about time because that's what you really love to do. And I'm like, well, why didn't anybody say anything? Because sometimes people can see things in yourself and they're just going to support you doing well. So they just, whatever you're doing, do that. And as long as you're not staying in trouble, you're not in no trouble, we're good.
Absolutely.
With it, right?
Yeah.
But, I have always loved this aspect of it. I just had fear. So this goes back to no fear. Allowing God, no fear, no self-doubt. I will tell anybody, if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, remember how I was against even StreamYard? I didn't want to use StreamYard. I didn't want to use nothing. I'm like, I don't want to do this. If you want to talk to me in person. Like, I was doing all this.
Now we love it.
Now we love it. And so you just have to be true to you. And it's so much more freeing because life is already hard. It's a bit harder when you're not honest with yourself about what it is that you want to do.
Yeah. When we talk about, freeing and just the support system, the support matters. It helps fuels us to keep going. That encouragement, not to say that we need a stroke of the ego or whatnot, but more so, it keeps us energized and wanting to bring that type of content that you're receiving because it's not easy. The long hours out of field, like a lot of people don't understand what, it entails and what goes into it. They don't understand that we're there 2 hours before a game and maybe an hour or two after the game, so a lot of the information that they're getting is quick to them, but it's a long process of how you got to that point and what led up to that point and the things that you were doing before you got to that point. Mm-hmm. Exactly. The dueling hours that go into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot to stay on point. And then to just also be there to build relationships and be professional, right? Like you said, us going to the game now is nothing like going to the game before. Like it's not, I know when folks would message me and I'm laughing because you asked who I like to watch, but who did I watch? I grew up in this area, everybody. So obviously I grew up watching, but you said like. But anyway.
Hey man, listen, I don't always like Pittsburgh, but
I understand what you mean.
I ain't got no choice.
But but yeah, so I grew up an area fan. I grew up an area fan because I'm from here. So I grew up watching everything here. But you most of the time didn't enjoy watching it. So but at any rate.
Yeah.
But
but just imagine you was covering it and watching it at that time.
Man, so yeah, it was just, but it's like, but game days look different, right? Like
absolutely,
you tailgating. So even for you, if you go to a tailgate, you're covering the tailgate. You're not funning with your chair,
right? You're not participating, right?
Right. And so some people would text me, okay, the game starts at 1. You might text me at 11, like where you at? Like where you think I'm at? I'm in the press box. Like you already gotta be at work and on point. And because you're in a different role, your best bet is not to be out in the parking lot chilling or just walking around. It's business now, and I think that's probably one of the big things that was a shift for me. Right, not wearing the paraphernalia, not hanging out. Like it's a work day. Game days are a work day, and sometimes, like you said, Terrence, they are very, very long and mentally grueling days.
Yeah, and when we talk about the community and the tailgating, let's talk about your community, the mentorship in the community. Were there, did you have any mentors or, women that you were looking up to or that may have helped you or guided you along the way to help for you to pay it forward?
Yeah, I absolutely. I will always shout out local sports journalist Donna Hopkins from Mid-Atlantic Sports Network. She's been in the game a long time, and I still hang out with Donna. One of the things that she was like she's the Washington, the Legends. That's their reporter. They love Donna, right? Because she was there during the Super Bowl years, the best of friends with Daryl Green, Doug, with all they love. That's their reporter. That's their person. And so in terms of, and this is just me being very transparent and honest, as you know, I try to do and bring in my authenticity, is she's helped me to keep my cool because I don't a lot of the time. And so
thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate you for helping keep her cool.
Because
we would get more emails. We would get a lot of emails if she didn't. We don't have the opportunity to have those moments of out of body or out of character moment. We gotta stay status quo every single time. Like you can't show a different side of you. You can't be human. You have to almost be robotic. And it's not to say that's not who we are not, because it's clearly who we are, but we can't show the way life beats us down.
Absolutely correct. And when you are in situations where you are blatantly being treated differently, you are blatant. It's just blatant, just blatant disrespect. You have to act like you don't see it, or you just have to sweep it under the rug way more times than you ever have the opportunity to actually address it. And even when you do address it, like to Terrence, to your point, it has to be as polished as possible. Let's be for real, right? Yeah. Stereotypes are real. Unconscious biases are real. So let's be for real. It's quick to be the angry Black woman. Yeah, it's quick. It's easy. It's that's where you're gonna default to. Coming up kind, even in some respects articulate, coming up and knowing who you are, and being confident in that, as CWall Sports and Entertainment, as the president of Bowie TV. I mean, it's difficult to have a moment, even to cry. Like I've had to, some things that may have happened, where it's okay, you got me. And after 8 or 9 years in the business, now you've caught me crying because I'm going through something that's so painful. I can't believe everybody just gonna stand here and watch this happen. You know what I mean? But you gotta. So Donna has helped me even in the moments where she's like, I've never even experienced this, right? Like there's moments that I've experienced that she didn't, but she's just like, walk it off, be cool, do what you can, like try to get yourself together, take a deep breath when y'all aren't around. So if she's not watching, Terrence, I will let her know that you are thanking her, because you already know what type of time. And so that's
why I said thank you.
Right.
That's why I said thank you.
Yeah. And so it's just it's difficult. And so she's been on, and I feel for women that don't have that.
Yeah.
Right, because it is so hard to keep, because it's been times where I'm like, I'm cashing it in, even though Donna is like, don't you do that, cashed in right now. And I don't do it because she can't, but
Absolutely.
you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't have her so many of the times, who knows?
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, that's that, and that's good always to have someone, that can balance, especially in that work environment, that the empathy is real, right? The
Yes.
compassion is real. It's not one of those, you know, oh, I care, and then they'll let you make a fool of yourself, because for them it might be more. They might receive more by your absence. So
Right.
shout out to Donna for like I always say, being a real one.
Yes.
Shout out to Lamar Bland for tuning in and comments, and we definitely
Yes.
appreciate you and all that you. I see you all the time on, when Candy's coaching from the couch and y'all having that commanders conversation. Boy, y'all be diving in. I'll be afraid to talk to Pittsburgh fans because I can't censor a lot of the stuff that they say. So
No,
I can't have that conversation like as real as you be having it. You know, before we finish though, because I really want to inform, because they hear it from me when it comes to Bowie TV. But this is the first time when we have this setting where you, the president for Bowie TV, and myself, the vice president for Bowie TV, actually get to be live and have this conversation and share why Bowie TV. But before we get to the why Bowie TV, what impact for the impact of women's sports, how do you see the role of women's sports evolving over the next few years?
I mean, being leaders in broadcasting, right? Everywhere from behind the camera to in front of the camera. And we're seeing some of that, right? From a women's sports perspective, but it will no longer be odd, if you will, or out of the norm, or a box check, or any of the sort, to have women actively engaged in sports conversations across the board.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that's where I see it going. Where I mean, we fair game, fair resume, fair everything with men.
Yeah, absolutely. And going to that point, and we talk, just being fair game. Bowie TV, they hear a lot from me when I refer to Bowie TV from an HBCU perspective. And I've shared, overall a lot of the things that Bowie TV is involved in. But just for a general, Candy covers the Commanders, everything from the game day to practice, from draft to press conferences to Zoom calls to whatever it is, Candy got it. You need information, you don't got to go to the gossip. You go right to Bowie TV, and you can get it right from the press conference yourself, as such as Karita Parks, who is with Bowie TV, that covers the Ravens for Bowie TV. And then we have a plethora of other women like Andrea Dorm or the Cassandra Ramsey or the, Destiny Jacksons. Bowie TV is full of HBC or full of women in sports, just in a general sense. So Bowie TV, I tell them why Bowie TV. Let's go ahead and break it down to them. Why Bowie TV is their number one spot of source, not only for the professional sports, but for community events happening, as well as HBCU content.
Because we really are a news source that is redefining television. I feel strongly about that. We may as well be honest about it, right? Like, we don't have a studio. There was a studio at one point, but we realized that what we're doing is outside. We're always on location. We're always on site. And we ain't gonna tell you everything behind the curtain, but we realize you don't need a studio, right? Where we are is with our teams, with our community, with you all. Outside, like that's where it is. That's where the TV is. We don't need to gather it and then bring it somewhere, right? And so, along with that, and it being as long as we want it to be, okay. Speaking of Karita, okay, if the Baltimore Ravens owner is an hour long, guess what? We got time for an hour long segment just covering the Baltimore Ravens from the Bowie TV perspective. If it's the HBCU softball tournament or anything HBCU, or even, you know, leading up to the Legacy Bowl, the interviews that you do, Terrence, how long is your interview? Okay, this one was 15 minutes. Okay, well, this one was 28 minutes. All right, man, we was on there for almost an hour. We got you. We're going to either segment it out, or we're going to air the whole thing, because we can do that. We can do that. We are the leaders who also know what it's like, and also as a consumer of media, right? We're understanding the landscape. I am one who has to often be taught. I'm one of those leaders that has to be taught. Terrence teaches me, Destiny teaches me, Darrell, others, because I can be very, I don't be wanting to do a lot of this stuff. And so, but they help me. You all help me to say, this is the future of media. This is where things are right now. And so we're meeting people where they are, right? Because we understand that television is being phased out, but it's still very relevant. That's why we're on TV in Prince George's County, Maryland. But we're also understanding all the different algorithms, all the everything from a digital perspective, so that we can meet everybody where they are. And I think that's the why Bowie TV. We are one of you all. We are. Yeah. Yes, we're professional journalists. Yes, we're professional journalists. We are professional storytellers. We have expertise in this business, in this field, with the teams and people, places, and things that we cover. We are experts in that. The way we tell the story is redefining television. And I will stand 10 toes down on that every day of the week. Terrence knows that, but now you all know it too.
Standing on business.
Yep.
And I think it was, just, great for them to hear from you as well, where, we really just get them to understand the importance, the why of Bowie TV, and not just that, but the multitudes of different areas that we're in. NILs, Cassandra Ramsey, talking about NIL. So all my college, student athletes, NIL questions. Cassandra Ramsey is an NIL attorney, right? She's a Bowie TV producer, right? So everything that you need, Bowie TV got it.
Yep.
It goes back to that award show when my man Shug got on stage. You don't want to see your producer dancing in your videos, want your name on the track. Come on over to Bowie TV.
And I mean, we do offer autonomy, right? But we all are like-minded in our work ethic and our passions. But we're always rooted in getting better and doing what needs to be done based on where the media landscape is going. But we're also tried and true for our areas, right? We do care about the community. We do care about what folks want to see. We care. Yeah. We care. And others is like, you get what you get. I'm gonna do what's interesting, but not what's important. And so we're doing what's important.
We're doing both. We get it all. We give you what's important, but we also give you what's popping.
Right. Exactly. We also, I think this is a big thing that we should say in terms of kind of differentiating in terms of why Bowie TV. We don't do some of the traditional reporting, let's say around crime, right, or even some of the gossip reporting, because you can get that other places.
Yeah.
And so that's just a business decision that we've made in redefining television. That, I mean, it's not that the conversations don't come up, because we've had to have those tough conversations in a variety of environments, but do we do daily, like crime reporting, weather reporting, all that? No, we don't. It is a special content piece that we have made a business decision that sets us apart. And we get
enough negativity already. We don't need to contribute to it.
Nope, exactly right.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, listen, as you heard Candi say, like, whether it's the Commanders, the Ravens, HBCUs, community, etc., we got Fashion Week, we got Legacy Bowl, we got NFL Draft, we got Super Bowl, we got NBA All-Star, we had the HBCU softball tournament. CIAA tournament. I mean, we are entrenched in so many places. And for all of you, small business owners, big business owners who are looking to expand your global viewership, Bowie TV is your place.
Absolutely. Like we understand you. We're also entrepreneurs. We get it. We get it. And so we just want to keep being that kind of outlet and space for that visibility for small businesses and large businesses as well. And so we get it, and we tell stories a different way, but the story is still told, and it answers the mail for more than 8 million viewers and counting. It grew when we didn't even realize it was growing, right? And the followers or subscriber count it doesn't always tell the story. You really got to look and understand analytics to really understand where the story is being told. And it's in the viewership, and it's in the repeated viewership. And we appreciate all of you who have been rocking with Bowie TV from the get-go. And even for everybody that's new, you might just be finding out about it. Hey, listen, welcome. We love you. We appreciate you, your views, and your support through views helps more than you know.
Absolutely. No better way to end it there. If you can share the email address for those who are interested in reaching out and finding more about Bowie TV.
Yeah, so info@bcmctv.org. So info@bcmctv.org. You can go to the website, www.bcmctv.org. If you follow Bowie TV or subscribe to Bowie TV on YouTube, you can always reach out to Terrence as well. Like, Terrence is the vice president. So he got, I spin out sometimes, and he's good with it, not in a bad way, but he helps keep me level as well. Is many on between Terrence, and shout out to Darrell. Is many on the absolutely, because he really be helping me out, and especially when we con.
Darrell like uncle the group. Darrell he be like, I can't have a moment to spaz on. I gotta keep them.
Right? He can't have a moment to spaz out. You gotta make sure everybody else is all right.
Yeah.
And they do a wonderful job of keeping me straight and keeping me honest, and just bringing their rigor in their work ethic. So feel free to reach out to Terrence as well as the vice president. Follow Bowie TV or Bowie TV Sports on all platforms. You can find me as well at CWall SC on X, or Candi Waller across all platforms. Like in the words of Coach Prime, I ain't hard to find. So you can look me up, LinkedIn, wherever.
Absolutely. And with that, I appreciate you for joining. It's crazy when I thought about it, like this was really our first of me having you on my platform.
Right, you're right. I think we did the talk, which was an event.
Yeah. And I think it's just because, man, we grind so hard.
Yep.
And we're in so many different places that it's not a knock. It's just that that's how busy we are.
Yeah.
That whenever you have internal individuals that come across for a certain subject or title that we can interview, it's like, dang, I don't know how I missed this one. So, shout out to you. Appreciate you for all that you do for Bowie TV, man. Shout out to the whole Bowie TV crew. We got the best video technical editor in Destiny Jackson and Eileen, the best photographers in Darrell and myself, not big of us, but listen, the best producers, the best storytellers. Shout out to Lou Holder for his advice, his encouragement that he's given me along the way as well. But listen, this is not the last, it's just the first. But stay tuned. Next week, I got Bowie State softball coach again on Monday at 6:30. Then at 7 o'clock, I got Steve Weiss, NFL Network analyst, coming on. We're going to talk about the HBCU football season that passed, HBCU Legacy Bowl, and his induction into the Black College Hall of Fame. We thank you guys very much for joining us. And like I said, ain't no platform out there better than Bowie TV. I ain't going to say I'm sorry because I don't mean it. So shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV. Let's get it.